Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark III and welcome back to Soviet Republic. To my happy little country where everything is sunshine and rainbows and no toxic clouds accidentally kill the citizenry at all. And whoever told you about that, they are going to get shot because national state secrets or something. That's how communism is supposed to work, quote unquote, isn't it? I don't know. Nah. I think I like to think I've got that sorted. But yeah, welcome back to Soviet Republic, where our first fully laden train of coal ore has just actually departed. I wound it forward slightly from the end of last episode, just to get us into a slightly more stable situation. And what I've done, well, the only thing of note, honestly, is I actually condensed our loans. So I mashed our two loans together into one, and I actually made an interesting discovery about the loan system, which is a little bit odd, if I'm going to be honest. The first loan is always 4.1, second is 4.4, third is 4.7. That's much we discovered a few parts ago, if you recall. But interestingly, if there's it actually does that by slots. So I paid back the 4.4 loan previously. So I was expecting to get a 4.7 because two loans were existing, but it turns out there is automatically a 4.4, then a 4.7, then whatever. So it goes into the cheapest available loan slot, I guess you could call it. I'm not quite sure how to describe it really. It's like you're always going to get a 4.1, and then if you've got a 4.1, you get a 4.4, and so on. And it doesn't matter if you've got any further down the chain, as long as it gives you the first free interest rate you get to. Oh yes, process that coal. Give me that coal. Getting a fair bit in here, but yep, that is very steadily working, and it is filling up the storages quite nicely. Go coal. That said though, one processor is actually not keeping up. It's actually only doing slightly more than like the power plant uses, so we'd have to actually get a lot more coal to fully fuel this thing. I didn't realise how much it burned. Wow, look at that. Now that said, of course, we're only getting 50% of the output of this thing because half of it's getting diverted. So there is that, I suppose. I guess I could scrap that and just pour everything into the power plant. Maybe I should, actually. I wish there was a way to do a priority shunt. Actually, there is. If I link this to this, then that means that it'll try to fill up everything, but the power plant feed will fill up first before it starts using this as a backup buffer. That'll do it. Yeah, look at this. The coal reserve is doing wonderfully. Anyway, enough of that. Let's actually focus on something else, which is, I think we need to get some building done. I was mentioning at the end of last time that I thought the focus immediately should be to get our population up, because we need more workers flat out to get more reliable coal, to get everything running a bit more efficiently, that kind of stuff. And I still think that's the case. If we can get things running more effectively, then we'll actually have more export, we'll have more money, you know, all that good stuff. So it'll only help us in the long run. Plus there's the fact that some of our services aren't actually fully optimized either. So let us begin with the building process. I'm actually going to try having you guys around a bit more for this one, so you can see what's going on rather than that going, I'm going to do this and then flash forward and go, ta-da, look at all this stuff. But that's only because I'm a bit pressed for recording time when I'm producing this one. So, well, we'll see how it goes, I think. First off though, we want to get this into here, which means we need to return. So we actually need to get, yeah, I think this one will do. And I'll just build it into the side like that. The problem is that the conveyors don't actually work too well with the roads. I'm trying to externalize here just so that you guys can get a good idea of my build process, like what I'm thinking as I try and do this. So, you know, something different there. Yep, so little short road there, little short road there. That'll work okay. I could buy this really cheaply, but I'm trying to give my workers things to do, you know, that kind of thing. Now we just need to get the conveyor lines hooked up. And we're in luck. That is actually in position so it doesn't block it. So that's fine. Then will this one work? It will. Okay. So, that's the priority focus now. So, once the coal reserve is filled up, it'll divert into here, and sadly, this one will still drain if it's not being depleted by anything else first into this one. So, I'll make sure the coal reserve is topped up. So, it's not quite a priority split. If one side's filled, then you go to the other, and then it's irretrievable, but it's close enough, so let's build that. So that's what I'm going to do down there. It's not that high priority, though. It has already chewed through that entire train load, I must admit. Not too fast. Okay. This is the thing. So, I didn't actually show you guys me building the other upgraded areas, so I think this will probably be a bit of a first for the series, but let's go ahead. I did mention, I believe, that we want to get the buildings laid out, then we add the paths and things because of the way that the building boxes for the houses stops you doing that. So let's go ahead and get one of these, and we don't have to worry about power, luckily, because we know we're actually close enough for any kind of power plant. Do I want to also grab citizens? I don't think so. I will auto distribute on a couple of them, just because a lot of our buildings are actually at capacity or very close to it, and that's not the best thing to be doing. Now, I want this to be close, but I want to bag it off slightly, because if it's too close we can't get a path through this adjoining bit, so that actually limits accessibility slightly for people on foot. But I don't want 3 roads here. That is a waste of connection potential, and I wish it didn't auto build them, but that's how it is. So I actually go into demolish and get rid of these things first, though sadly it's already split, I think, the nodes in terms of the thing. So actually, I'm not sure if it did or not. I'm not sure if it auto splits the roads, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But if it doesn't, that's actually great. It'd be nice if it merges them back up, but I'm not going to demolish the road just to find out. So that building is going to go up there. Other things of note: we do need kindergartens. We need a new school. We need a hospital. We need more sports access in general, because there's some sports, some kindergartens, that kind of stuff. So the existing leisure and sport facilities are not enough. We don't actually have a cinema. We have a cinema down here. It's relatively close, but not the best. So that is also something to consider. Though that said, it's easy to put in like sports facilities around bigger buildings like these because the build footprint isn't as big. I mean, literally, I can just put it right up against the building if I'm so inclined. And I think I will, actually. I think I'll install this one here, up against the back of this one. Though again, I'm going to strip out the footpaths because they're not where I want them. That. So again, I wish they didn't also build that. So we've got that. How are we doing in terms of access? A bit out of range for that one, but we do have these ones on the other side of the station. Yeah, anyone in here should be able to reach these ones without issue. I want to double check what we've got though. We've got a small store, we've got a grocery store, there's a pub, grocery store, small store, there's a couple over here, store 2, grocery, small store. We're actually short on pubs. There is a shameful lack of alcohol being consumed in this place. We can't have that. No. Okay, so we'll put a kindergarten in. in this case I'm okay with the auto build. I think let's pop it here on this side. And we'll build a pub directly opposite. Just because that seems like a good idea. Everyone wants the pub next to the kindergarten. That's the best place to put it. I don't know what you're on about. Actually lost where the pub was for a few minutes. There it is. Right. So there we go. Auto build that. And that gives us actually some space for a new football ground. Wait, what did I build before? Football ground. Okay, so a tennis court. Let's build a tennis court in the middle here. Leave a bit of space so we can get to footpath in the middle. And I think that about does it for this bit. So we've got a little bit here. There are more facilities though that we were wanting. Where was that? Ah, it's back where I already was. Right, new hospital. That's something that we do need because that hospital is struggling. I was thinking of putting it really close up to the road, but now I'm honestly thinking a bit of space in front for ambulances to actually queue up to get to it is a good idea. Just because of the way that the vehicle mechanics actually work in this game, you know? Plus this is going to be a fairly dense residential area, so a bit of extra breathing room just to make sure is generally good in terms of a busy building. So let's pop it all the way back there, I think. That seems good. We've got ourselves a new hospital. We've got a new kindergarten. We do need a school, of course, because last I checked our school was being overrun a little bit. Yes, our school is still being overrun quite severely. We need another school. Education. School. Schule. Ah, my old Schule house. To quote Mastermind. Put it near the kindergarten, I think, just like, I guess about here. Yeah, I'll leave a little gap. Let's put it there. Okay, so we've got a lot of those basic stuff, but I do want more residential buildings, of course. We need more living space. There's always room for living space, so I'm going to install that like about here, I think. Then I'll actually get a couple more, like, actually pollution was about to here, so it should be good to continue. Let's double check that for a moment. Yep, that's about right. Actually with the coal refinery running, the pollution didn't reach this area here, so that's still safe from pollution at the moment, so that's okay. But we want the flats to go in, make them bigger density flats here. Just because, and maybe another kindergarten would be a good idea too, just because otherwise we might run short on kindergarten space. I'm thinking a couple of these will be better than one of those, I think, in terms of density. So I have one of them. Oh, they can get really close actually. I think they might have changed some of these building footprints. I'll put one there. Then I'll put in a local kindergarten as well, so that way there's a bit more kindergarten access available. Kindergarten places, we need more of those anyway than we do main school places. So put that. Let's put that in. I guess let's put it like here. Yeah, like that. Double check the pollution really quick. And I don't want to put a housing there, so actually, let's remove this and do responsible things. Which is, I'm going to put the kindergarten where all the pollution goes. I care for my children. Sorry, my people's children. I care for them, yes. I hope I'm going in the right tab. There it is. Right. Kindergarten. I'm actually going to tuck it right close to the road. No. So I'm not trying to do it too bad. But it's just that I suspect pollution doesn't have an effect that much on places that are only being visited. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I suspect. That's why the campus is there, the fire station's there, why these service buildings are where they are. So having the kindergarten in range of the pollution should be alright as far as the game mechanics concerned. Maybe that'll change in the future and punish me for it, but I don't think it's actually a big issue at the moment. But I'll just install another block of flats like right across the way there. Okay. So that's my thoughts on the layout for all this. Let's remove that too. Excuse me, a bit of spittle went down the wrong pipe. Right. And of course we need a access point for all this. So I'm going to lay a road along here and connect everything up so that we have direct access for anything that needs it. Like that. Okay. All buildings connected, yes. We have education, we have a new hospital, we have a pub, because pubs are important. These guys should all be fine accessing the stores here, so that should provide good access. We might not be providing enough access, but it should be good. So, before we get on to path construction, which should always be the last phase, we need to do the important part, which is add statues to Lenin and communism and just prove our loyalty overall. So, ooh, we can fit one in right there, eh? No. Yeah, this is the most important part, of course. Yes, big concrete monument to Lenin. Red star stuff. This is another reason why I spread it out a little bit. Just it's like gives us a bit more room to play around with in terms of decoration. Oh, I can put a hammer and sickle right in front of the hospital. Yes, please. Now, serious talk time though. There is something that I noticed in terms of. Oh wow, we can get these right up to the buildings. This game has done something in an update, I think. I'm surprised with how freely I'm able to put this stuff in around the buildings. Yes! More statues to aggrandize our glorious... I was going to say leader, but I think we're independent. Wait, no. Soviets aren't independent. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to say that, if I'm honest. But more statues, glory to communism, all that stuff. Okay. Right. Paths, though. Here's a fun little thing I've noticed about paths by playing and observing how the game has been ticking along. Paths, I think, is actually really worth just like buying them outright. And I'm not saying that to be lazy, I'm saying that because it seems to me like paths actually absorb a massive amount of effort from your construction depots. Like buses go to them, and they just keep delivering people even when there's no materials, and they always seem to be a massive sink in terms of labour and time. And then if you've got multiple stretches under construction in one go, which is it happens with roads too. Like there's a bit of road here, there's a bit of road here, there's a bit of road there, and a bit of road there. Like vehicles can get very confused as to how to get to places. It happens a bit with roads, as I said, but like with paths is especially likely because the paths can be so interconnected, so it can confuse and slow things down drastically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan out the paths and just check and see exactly how bad it's going to be. So I'm thinking I'll get a path here, and of course a path here. Notice I can't put it any closer to the kindergarten, so I'm going to put it there. But I am going to link another path forward like that. Then we've got a good gap here, so we do have a couple of spots where we can connect a path. That one is kind of short, but we can do it. Okay, and that's a bit too close. Can we get a crossing over here? No, sadly not. So yeah, this is a bit too tight for a path to operate in, this little bit here. So I think we want a path going like this away. then I'm trying to cut down on the number of nodes needed, because nodes can't go too close together. So if I had done it like separately, I might have struggled a little bit. So I linked those two together, and then that can become like that. And same dealio over here. I'm trying to provide options for the people to get to and fro. Now, this road is sadly a little bit too short. Same with this one. So I'm just going to go across. Then this can go straight into the middle there. As you see, I've tried to get too close. It auto clicks to the ones on the side. But if I back off a little bit, it can just about make a connection in the middle. So that's good. Also, I'm going to connect that so that they can get to the statue, because that is super important. So we need a link across there. So you can see this, we're starting to try and get the flows going, you know, in terms of where people can move in this area. And I think one of the important connections here is going to be from this statue here all the way to this road here, because then that can link straight across into this path section here, which goes then across to these shops. So quick, good, easy access point. This one is too close, so I can't actually put a path through it again. But I can then start to bolt these onto the sides here. Like this one can go to here, this one can go to there. This one, now that I've got a straight path to anchor it to, can actually go like that. And then I can run it like past here. And I'm thinking like that, and then I can connect a path like that. Oh, that's actually messed up slightly. I'm trying to make it a bit smoother, you know? Yeah, like that. That'll do. Then, out the back of hospital. Hospital links are important. I want to make sure people can get to and fro very freely. So, having a flat piece acts as an anchor point, and then I can just like randomly connect other stuff to it, like that. Then we're actually going to have a crossing point into that path there. Yeah, that is coming together quite nicely, I think. But yeah, we're making use of as many of these crossing points as we can. Now then, this is a critical crossing point, like right here. And I think I might remove that one actually, because there isn't really enough space to have a path along this bit here. So what I'm thinking is, remove this path there, because that won't really interrupt it. Oh, it did. Okay, fine. Let's get it a bit closer up to the side of the thing, then like that, then straight in the middle. Then, the major through course is going to be along here. Like that. So I'm going to have the main crossing point be like straight into here. Notice that it's trying to auto-click onto that one, but I want it centered like that. But for people trying to go this way, I'm going to add in an extra bit of path from there, and then to there. And then we need to, of course, get this linked in as well, so we can connect it straight to there or straight into the crossing itself, like that. And again, like crossings here, here, here. Then link it all straight in, like this. So you can see that it's a little bit fiddly trying to get the paths in place. And I must confess, I wasn't planning to have this take up the entire video length, which it seems to have done, but I've just been waffling on the whole time, and it's like, it's actually taking up a lot more time than I thought. So I noticed this when I was doing the other areas. It's like, if I was building a single central section, then I could literally spend easy at like 30, 40, 50 minutes just like building one of these sections. Like, I think like getting this area around here sorted out, I spent like easily the best part of 40 minutes on that. This part, maybe about half an hour. And I don't know how long I spent doing this part, because I was reshuffling, I was deleting and redoing the buildings, I was realigning the paths, I was trying to get this bit here, this bit here, this bit here. It's like, you know, just constantly tweaking and trying to rearrange it so that I could get things exactly where I wanted them to be. You know? There is a crossing point here, so let's go ahead and do that. But yeah. kind of shows that it may look like it's simple to lay out, but the game doesn't exactly quite facilitate that. But it takes a bit of effort to try and get there. Also of note, by the way, of course, is the fact that pedestrians can't go through buildings, so that's why direct paths are a bit more important. So like, if once this store's built, people can't go straight in here and just cross the lot. They have to actually go around it. So they'll use this road, or they'll cross and use that. They'll probably use the road on that bit, if I'm honest. Or they'll just go like this way to get to the hospital. I'm not sure which way they'll go, but they can't use that as a crossing. So that's why having the ability to get a path in front of a building is actually very useful to do. I'm actually going to link that one. If possible, people do use a path exit, so giving them more exits, it reduces the distance they have to travel, and so it makes it more likely that they'll actually try and use a place. So that's also like one of the reasons why it's a good idea to try and do it. Let's put it like that. I don't like that little gap it's trying to put in. Should be okay. Make that one connection, and now there's a little gap there. Never mind. But as you can see, it's not really wanting to play dice with me too much. It's also that they don't really like to curve that much, so that's why there's a lot of straight lines going here. Okay, hospital's connected. That's all connected. This kindergarten's connected. The statues are all connected. Building's all connected. I could build from this school straight across into this area. I don't think I will actually, so let's do that. But there's a lot of good crossing points. There's a lot of good footpaths. That is all good. And if I was to wait for that to get built, it'll take absolutely ages to do. But if I buy it, it's only like 12,500. And paths are so cheap in material that is almost entirely actually labour time. So I can do that and spare myself a whole load of hassle, or I can actually let my work teams do it. But they will take absolutely ages of doing that. And that's why part of the reason why recording sessions are so long. It takes time for it takes a lot of time sometimes for these guys to do them, especially if it's a complex area like this. So I think I'm going to save myself the hassle and just fund construction automatically. My construction crews will thank me from the bottom of their hearts. Plus there's the fact that roads actually provide paths provide connections to all the buildings and things as well. So it provides more ready access for people to get here, there and everywhere, including construction vehicles and things too. Please don't crash. Oh, that was a massive stutter as I unpaused it. But yeah, it's actually built up all those paths. And I'm actually going to go in and get those pre-laid paths built up too, just to make sure that my vehicles have no reason to complain. But look at this, like maybe 100 rubles to get that bit of path built. But it saves so much on the complexity of it in terms of building it. And there we go. I didn't intend to do that, but I've literally spent this episode is not going to have any time skips at all. This is literally the fastest episode I have ever recorded in this series so far. Because I focus on giving you a play-by-play as I laid out the area to try and get it built up. But look at this though, people are already coming from the surrounding buildings to just go and man the construction jobs, even though there's literally nothing for them to do. Come on, people. That said though, it seems to be like that's mainly paths and statues that have that problem. They aren't going to the main buildings as far as I can tell. So it's kind of weird. But hey, this game is early access, so what can you do? Oh, there's a couple of little paths down there. I missed a little bit. That's the other thing, it's really, really easy to actually miss stuff in this game. There we go. But yeah, now you can see what I'm trying to do though. So we've got a whole bunch of extra housing going in. and we've got a whole load of key services, including making sure that people have good access to this. I mean, look, this is jam-packed once again. So one hospital just wasn't cutting it. But with that, I'm afraid that's all we've got. I hope you guys forgive me for the slightly different tone of this episode, because, as I said, no jump cuts, no massive smashing sweeps of progress. Instead, I just talked you through building up an urban area. So, yeah, I hope you can forgive me for that one, but I hope that's it. I hope it was interesting to you too. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later. Yeah, look at that. That concrete truck just quite happily drove along there.